Afghanistan has undergone many changes in the last half century. These changes on the ships of cause, aggression and occupation, the crisis of legitimacy, the imposition of Eastern and Western political system and ideologies, and unformation of comprehensive and stable political system has always been burning the fire of war and conflicts. The flame of this long war has lasted for more than half a century. And in this ongoing war, millions of Afghans have been displaced, immigrated, martyred, and wounded. After a few decades of conflict, the loophole for lasting peace in the country which emerged has also failed, and the Afghan people's dream for a countrywide peace and lasting stability has not materialized. Meanwhile, the new generation and youths of Afghanistan have suffered the most from instability, system inconsistency, and political changes of the recent few decades. Inexistence of consensus and lack of formation of purposeful movements of the new generation and youth on the one hand, and lack of authority and meaningful role in political decisions on the other hand, have made youths the main victims of the ongoing conflict in the country. Therefore, after 2005, a group of the new generation and youth activists of Afghanistan took steps to create coordination and convergence among the new generation and youths to advocate for a strengthened and lasting peace and stability in the country with a non-violent approach in the form of civil and social activities.
اگرچه کشور ما در آن وقت نسبتاً از یک جنگ کلان بیرون شده بود و جامعه جهانی نیز در افغانستان به شکل فعال و گسترده حضور پیدا کرده بودند و از جانب دیگر متاسفانه مردم افغانستان از سازمان‌ها و احزابی که دست به سلاح برده بودند خاطرات خوش نداشتند. اما این که افغانستان در یک فصل جدید از تاریخ خود قرار گرفته بود، باید راه‌های مبارزات مدنی و سیاسی خشونت پرهیز و غیر از جنگ در پیش گرفته میشد و نهادینه میگردید. ما هم رفتیم به طرف نهادسازی و ایجاد حرکت‌ها و برنامه‌های جوان محور. این حرکت‌ها و برنامه‌های جوان محور به منظور به دست آوردن اهداف و مقاصد مشخص سازماندهی گردیده و ادامه دارد.
Over the time, and by understanding the political situation and conditions in the country, these movements have expanded from activities in the form of civil institutions to national program-oriented movements and activities, and have marked the important activities. 2005, Afghanistan Successful Youth Association. 2008, Afghanistan's Youth Institutions Coordination Council. 2010, Afghanistan's Youth National Coordination Center. These youth movements were for the purpose of institutionalization in the civil political areas, which were established to create cohesion, coordination, advocacy, and the realization of the youth rights, and held dozens of national and historical summits, conferences, and activities, including the Afghanistan's Youth National Conference and the Afghanistan's Youth National Peace Jirga, and made the subsequent movements more orderly and meaningful. The Afghanistan's Youth National Conference was held in 2011 for putting efforts to consolidate stability, participate in decision-makings, and discussing on important national issues with the participation of hundreds of youths from 34 provinces. The former Afghan President Hamid Karzai also participated in the conference inauguration. The participants of this conference shared their views and suggestions on the process of reconciliation, consolidating stability, ensuring justice, good governance, the rule of law, the principle of transparency and accountability, balanced development, to fight against narcotics, creating employment opportunities for youths, and youth participation in decision-making through a 20-article resolution with the people, the government of the time, and international institutions. The Afghanistan's Youth National Peace Jirga. The Afghanistan's Youth National Peace Jirga was held in 2012 at the Loya Jirga Hall and Salam Khana Presidential Palace, which lasted for 4 days. In this Jirga, 1,700 youth representatives from all provinces of the country and hundreds of guests attended.
ما گفتیم باید علامه صلح باید دست بگیریم و به این بزرگا بگم که جنگ بس است.
The members of the Jirga discussed the major challenges of the country, including the peace negotiation process, the circumstance of United States presence in Afghanistan, the fight against corruption, unemployment, and educational problems in the country, and formulated their demands in the form of a 31-article resolution and submitted to the ex-president حامد کرزی.
امر اسلامی بوده شرایط معقول طرف‌های درگیر قضیه صلح در نظر گرفته شود.
After the Afghanistan's Youth National Peace Jirga, interim and elected chairpersons, majority of the administrative board, and the secretariat members of assembling the Jirga, some of heads, deputies, and secretaries of 20 committees, and a number of independent civil society organizations established the Reform and Change Network for the purpose of continuing advocacy movements, creating a common and effective platform for youths, and pursuing national and vital goals in Afghanistan. The Reform and Change Network with a civil political approach was established in Kabul on September 11, 2012 with the mission of transformation of political management to the new and young generation. The activities and advocacies of the Reform and Change Network continues to be committed for achieving long-term goals for the purpose of achieving a stable and prosperous Afghanistan. Finally, a collective of the new generation and youth activists, a number of youth-oriented civil political institutions and movements, by understanding the current situation and the serious and effective needs of establishing a stable system and ensuring lasting peace and stability in the country, launched the Youth Contact Group for Peace and the New Generation and Youth Peace Jirga, one of the largest peace advocacy movements and programs. The Contact Group, as a national peace advocacy program, independent and not affiliated with individuals or political groups, consisting of new generation and youth activists, established on August 2019 to create and strengthen the inclusive orders of the new generation and youth's advocacy to ensure lasting peace and stability in the country, agreement through dialogue and political solutions, strengthening the position and political participation of women, referring to the votes and demands of the people, maintaining the democratic process and gaining political power through elections, and supporting a constitution in which the rights of all citizens are preserved.
به باور ما در 2 دهه پس این 4 محور سیاسی در افغانستان حضور داشتند. رهبران و تنظیم‌های جهادی، تکنوکرات‌های شامل در قدرت، تحریک اسلامی طالبان و نسل نو جوانان افغانستان. از این میان 3 محور نخست در تمام تصمیم‌گیری‌های سیاسی و نظامی دخیل بودند. اما محور چهارم نسل نو و جوانان افغانستان نقش معنادار نداشتند، در تصمیم‌گیری‌های سیاسی دخیل نبودند و همواره قربانی تصمیم‌گیری‌های 3 محور نخست شدند. به همین منظور گروه تماس و جرگاه‌های صلح جهت ایجاد و تقویت آدرس همه شمول نسل نو و جوانان افغانستان ایجاد کردید و در سراسر افغانستان حضور فعال داشتند.
The Contact Group and the New Generation and Youth Peace Jirga held dozens of meetings, press conferences, marches, and peace summits for the purpose of political engagement and advocacy for the youth's participation in political decisions. The most important of programs carried away were the New Generation and Youth Peace Jirgas.
د نوي نسل او ځوانانو د سولې جرګو کې مونږ 3 موخې تعقیبولې. اول، د سولې په بهیر کې د افغانستان د نوي نسل او ځوانانو مشارکت، ګډون او د دوی انسجام. دویم، د سولې په بهیر کې د جګړې لاړخونو څخه د نوي نسل او ځوانانو د غوښتنو موندل وو. د طالبانو اسلامي تحریک، د افغانستان حکومت، د امریکا په مشرۍ نړیواله ټولنه، گاونډي هیوادونه او د اسلامي کنفرانس غړو هیوادونو څخه د دوی غوښتنې کومې وې. او دریم، مونږ هڅه کوله څو د دې جرګو له لارې د جګړې پر ښکېلو اړخونو باندې فشار وارد کړو، څو د سولې، مذاکراتو، سیاسي تفاهم او خبرو له لارې د افغانستان جګړې ته د پای ټکی کېږدي.
Members of the new generation and youth peace Jirgas, as well as peace summits, are divided into 10 working committees in each province based on the indicators of education, gender, age, district, and ethnicity, and express their views on the orientation of 7 specified questions, and finally drafted their views in the form of a joint resolution. The leadership and the fellows of the contact group have traveled to 30 provinces of the country from August 2019 to August 2021 and have set up Jirgas and summits among the youths for the purpose of consonance and convergence of the new generation and youths to strengthen lasting peace in Afghanistan. The new generation and youth peace Jirgas and peace summits have been held in the provinces of Kabul, Nangarhar, Bamiyan, Badakhshan, Uruzgan, Zabul, Baghlan, Saripul, Laghman, Samangan, Badghis, Paktia, Paktika, Logar, Konar, Balkh, Takhar, Maidan Vardak, Jawzjan, Khost, Ghor, Ghazni, Faryab, Farah, Kunduz, Nimroz, Herat, Helmand, Kandahar, and Nuristan.
کچیرته سیاسي مسایل د سیاسي مذاکراتو له لارې حل نشي نه یوازې دا چې سوله نشي راتلی بلکې د یوې بلې موقتي جګړې پای او نوې جګړې دوام لپاره زمینه مساعدوي.
بدون حضور زنان و حضور جوانان رسیدن به یک جامعه مرفه و مترقی ناممکن است.
نن ستاسو د بچیو پانتون رنگ او بچی مو بی تعلیمه ده، نن ستاسو مکتب کندر ده، نن ستاسو سرک رند ده، نن ستاسو پلچک مات شو، نن ستاسو خور لور مور د پردیو هیوادونو مسافر او
جنگ خرابی به بار میاره.
صلح را باید در میان نواهای پر از درد و بغض یتیمان باید بجوییم.
The most important demands of the new generation and youth of Afghanistan in the mentioned Jirgas are as follows. 1. Flexibility, avoiding selfishness and monopoly, resolving conflicts through negotiation and political agreement, ceasefire, and complete and permanent cessation of war in the country. 2. Meaningful presence and participation of the new generation and youth as an influential party in the national decision-making process. 3. Preventing the destruction of public properties and preservation of administration's civil and executive system. 4. Supporting the inclusive system and government, supporting a justly constitution, implementing the democratic process, and gaining political power through elections. 5. Preservation and development of freedom of expression and media, the right of access to information, social, civil, and political freedoms, and the right to peaceful protests for all citizens. 6. Protecting and supporting the fundamental rights and freedom of women, right to education, work, meaningful engagement and participation in the political, civil, social, economic, culture, and military fields. 7. Maintaining the system and the armed forces. 8. Monitoring and reporting on peace processes. 9. Continuation of cooperation, financial support of the international community, and maintenance, continuation, development, and establishment of friendly and strategic relations with the neighboring countries, the region, and the world based on national interests.
ما هر چی هستیم، هر فکر داریم، اینجا باید با خود بسازیم. در غیر از او با انحصار، با خودخواهی و برای یک مسئله که بگوید که فقط ما هستیم و بر اساس واقعیت ها سیاست نشود، یک کشور به یک ثبات دائمی نمیرسه. بنابراین ما تلاش میکنیم و این تلاش باید فعلا به شدت ادامه پیدا کنه. خیلی سخت است و به مراتب سخت‌تر است، به دلیلی که جو سیاسی حاکم بسیاری از مسائل را اجازه نمیده، ولی ما باید صدای خود هم بر جانب طالبان، هم بر جوانب افغانی که خارج از کشور هستند و هم بر جامعه ملی، صدای نسل نو افغانستان، صدای زن افغانستان و صدای مردم افغانستان باید برسانیم و باید اینا رو وادار کنیم و فشار وارد کنیم که بالاخره همه ما در یک کشور زندگی مشترک داشته باشیم و هر کسی که به هر فکری است در یک چوکات قانونی همه با هم به پیش بریم و هر کسی که هستیم باید برای آینده افغانستان با ثبات تلاش بکنیم. ما رای جز از گفتگو، تفاهم و رسیدن به توافق سیاسی کلان و جامع هیچ رای دیگه نداریم. بنابراین این را کمی دشوارتر است، وقت بیشتر میگیره، اما از جنگ کده به مراتب خوبتر است.